What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. This is your AEW Dynamite review for December the 27th, 2023. The go-home show for AEW's World End pay-per-view event. We had basically the final matches of the Gold League matches in the Continental Classic, which I haven't got a lot to talk about, but I'll talk about what I've thought of the Continental Classic overall in this review, as well as we have new World Tag Team Champions in Ring of Honor, which probably was one of the worst things on the show, in my opinion. But I'll explain that in just a little bit here. We had a really good match between Skye Blue and Kris Statlander, which I thought was pretty good. Everything else on the show was kind of meh to me. Swerve's promo was pretty good here, setting up a program that should have been finished 18 months ago, in my opinion. But here we are. Here we'll talk about that. We're going to go over also predictions for World's End and STARDOM's Dream Queendom, because that will be reviewed on Friday afternoon. A little update here. There is no SmackDown review this week because there is no SmackDown. Oh, there is a SmackDown, but it's a best of show, which is why you didn't see a Raw review this week. There will not be a SmackDown review this week. In place of SmackDown this week will be the STARDOM Dream Queendom review, as well. The following night is World's End. And then we go back to the regularly scheduled programming of Raw, AEW Dynamite, SmackDown, getting ready for. Oh, and also next week is Thursday will be the Wrestle Kingdom review, but I'll talk about that as well. I'll go with my predictions for Wrestle Kingdom. That will be on the Dynamite review. So anyway, if you like what you see here, hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. YouTube.com/@MisfitWrestlingPodcast. Follow the social medias. Pile Driver Pulse on Twitter. Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. And you can listen to the stuff here. Google Podcast, which is apparently ending soon. Stitcher is ending soon as well. So those two will be taken off of the banner at some point. I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen. But the other stuff, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, the big one, Audible, and Pandora, those are going nowhere, and those are just going to remain the same here. But here we go. AEW Dynamite, the Continental Classic Finals for the Blue and Gold League. So far, I've been away for most of December here. My first big review on this in months was the SmackDown review, because I was I had been on the weather for most of the not really most of the year, most of the month. I don't know. I feel like I needed a break, and then over the holiday I got sick. So, but I'm slowly getting back to being myself, which is fantastic. I like that idea of being more of myself here. As I did, but I put the SmackDown review from last week on the channel where we talked about the Tanahashi being named New Japan Pro Wrestling president, and the stuff with AOP and all that stuff here, and that you can find that in the. You just type it in Misfit Wrestling Podcast. It'll be the most recent review on the channel or wherever it's at here. But I was gonna try to. Apparently, I was invited to be a part of the predictions for Talk for Glory podcast. Which shout out to them; those guys are pretty cool. I talked to at least one of the guys quite a lot here. He invited me, Enigma, He invited me to be a part of the predictions review, or not predictions review, predictions stream or whatever. I unfortunately didn't get to. I don't know if they've done it yet. I have to ask, but I unfortunately didn't because I was trying to get under the weather here. But I'll try to invite him for the review on Friday afternoon if he wants to do it. I'll ask him if he wants to be a part of it. That's just me, but yeah. However, let's talk about Dynamite here. Well, I sip a drink of my water here. So, Continental Classic. I've enjoyed majority of the Continental Classic here. I've loved what they've done with Brody King throughout the tournament here. He was killing it, going undefeated until he lost to Bryan Danielson, taking his first loss there, and then he lost to Daniel Garcia. Probably my favorite match of the tournament. Most recently was on Collision, which was the Bryan Danielson Claudio match that went to a time limit draw, which was incredible stuff. I love the Bryan Danielson Andrade match. Roosh had some bangers to match in here. He had banger matches with Jay White. Mark Briscoe was the MVP of the entire tournament to me. He only won one match of the tournament, unfortunately, but Mark Briscoe did get eliminated. Then we ended up getting a 3-way tie, which for the Gold League, which ended up being Moxley Swerve, who had a phenomenal run as well. Swerve's first match in the tournament against Jay Lethal was great stuff. Which reminds me, I got to get back to my G1 Climax, which I've got recorded and all that stuff here. I got to do. I probably might just do my own commentary over that or something. I'll let you guys know on that hand because that's a lot, which I'm probably gonna nix down to because right now it's 12 participants in each tournament because there's both the men's and the women's. I'm gonna nix that down to 4 or 8, 4 per block, so it's so much easier for me next time. So, but another match I liked in the Continental Classic before we get to or the two main events of this show here. Eddie Kingston Claudio was pretty good. Moxley Roosh was pretty good too. Swerve and Briscoe, again, great stuff here. Jay White, Jay Lethal was pretty good. Jay White defeating Jon Moxley last week was clean, by the way. I want to point that out. Clean as a whistle. Didn't see that coming, but I liked it. Not Moxley. Swerve and Roosh was pretty good. Briscoe and Jay Lethal was pretty good here. Eddie Kingston and Andrade was pretty good here. Andrade was also an MVP of his block here, as well as Brody King. Bryan Danielson was doing some good shit here. Bryan Danielson, who is getting, by the way, he is getting his big ring match with Kazuchika Okada next Thursday at Wrestle Kingdom, and also Jon Moxley is challenging for the new whoever the fuck that championship is called at Wrestle Kingdom against Will Ospreay and David Finlay. But that's either here or there. We had the Gold League Finals, which is the 3-way, which ended up being, because it was a 3-way tie, 9 points apiece. It was Jay White, Swerve Strickland, and Jon Moxley. This match was epic as hell. I love this match. The only thing I did like about this match was the person who won it. And I like Jon Moxley, I do, but I'm kind of getting over the Jon Moxley wins lol stuff. Like I said on Twitter, this to me, And I get to the fit who I think should have won this particular match here. Just a little bit here, but I'm not gonna go spend my time through the entire match because I gotta also, I'm gonna preview 2 mass pay-per-views at the end of this review here, so bear with me here. So at one point, Swerve stomps on both of Jay White's hands before launching himself onto Jay White with a splash. They were like, I believe it was on the outside here. Swerve Strickland then launches Moxley out to the ring, but onto White before heading to the top rope to hit a huge frog splash cross body to the floor. Swerve looks to launch Moxley into the stairs with he and Jay White. Then takes it to the ring. That's Swerve and Jay White get hooked, and then they start brawling. They start brawling to the ring apron and whatnot here. They start going back and forth here. Moxley dives to the ring to nail Swerve. Moxley connects with a pile driver to Swerve's back into the ring, sets up for a double wrist lock. Swerve fights back, but he then heads to the top rope, leads hit for his, I guess, counters into like a DDT from Moxley. Swerve is countered by Moxley with the DDT. Swerve at one point. Swerve and Jay White then started exchanging vicious kicks until Swerve was able to swerve his way out of it and win the exchange with a house call. Nails a 450. Moxley breaks up the pin with a curb stomp to Swerve. All 3 men are down. The crowd's going insane. At this point, at one point, they started chanting "Fight Forever." The trio then started exchanging chops back and forth with each other. Moxley German suplexing Jay White before Swerve does the same thing to Moxley. Jay White then targets Moxley's knee, but responds with a cutter to Moxley. This just keeps going back and forth here. So at one point, Jay White was able to actually hit the Blade Runner, only gets a 2 count, or not a 2 count, but Swerve saves the day here. Swerve gets hit with the Blade Runner. He was able to kick out with a beautiful near fall. Moxley then hits Swerve gets it with his own like house call maneuvers and all that stuff here, but he gets a King Kong lariat by Moxley. White again, like I mentioned, nailed Moxley with the Blade Runner. Yet Swerve again breaks up the pinfall attempt. Jay White then gets sent into the chair that he set up, and then the turnbuckle earlier. Swerve almost catches Moxley with the roll up, which for a very nice near fall. They exchange slaps. Swerve launches Moxley into the turnbuckle. He's fixing to hit the dive from the top rope, and Jay White pushes him off. Jay White's getting ready to hit Blade Runner, reverses it, all that stuff here, and gets hit with the Death Rider. 1, 2, 3. Jon Moxley gets the win here and is going to World's End. Now, I have an issue with Moxley winning this. I know a lot of people like the idea of Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. Look, I wasn't really that big of a fan of the Eddie Kingston Moxley match at Full Gear a few years ago. I don't know why, it just wasn't for me. I don't know what it was about me that just didn't really grab a hold of it here. And I put out on Twitter, right? Let me see if I can write it here. So I said this tweet right here. I said, to me, this makes way more sense as a Continental Classic Finals, especially given the title Kingston has is the title of the show. Eddie beat Jay White because I wanted Jay White to win this here. He beat Jay White on the New Japan Strong show. This tournament is storyline wise the only loophole Jay White has to get back into New Japan Pro Wrestling, because the storyline is that Jay White is banned from New Japan Pro Wrestling because Eddie Kingston beat him at Battle in the Valley earlier this year. Because the stipulation was because Hikuleo beat him at not New Year's Dash. What was the other show? I forgot the name of the show that they had that match at. But Hikuleo beat him, so he was banned from Japan, right? Then Eddie Kingston had this match with Jay White at Battle in the Valley, and Jay White lost. And the stipulation was if the loser of the match would be banned from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Jay White lost. He was banned from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, to be fair, this is before the whole hiring freeze in WWE that everyone was assuming Jay White was going to WWE. It kind of, I guess, was all but ready to happen. And then the hiring freeze happened, and then Jay White just ended up going to AEW because of the hiring freeze. So now the banning of Jay White in New Japan doesn't make a lot of sense now anymore. And now I think because Jay White, since coming to AEW, he was not on the Forbidden Door show. Just that I throw it out there. Jay White was not at all a part of the Forbidden Door show. Actually, none of Bullet Club Gold was part of the Forbidden Door show. So I feel like him going to the finals of this tournament and winning the Triple Crown title, which I don't know when, because originally I thought this tournament was to look for a new challenger for I'm assuming either MJF or whoever the champion was going to be. That's no longer the place thing now, I guess. So it's now like the Triple Crown champion. Excuse me. But again, I just think my point is Moxley, and I like Moxley, I really do. But it can't keep leaning on Jon Moxley all the time. Like, this tournament could have been done to establish a new top talent. Eddie Kingston has been there since 2020. Moxley has been there since 2019. Jay White, people like, and then think about this, look at the rest of this league here. Most of the other people in the Gold League signed, well, Swerve signed last year, but everybody else signed, well, I don't know about, maybe Roosh maybe been signed last year as well, but everyone else signed this year. You could have, built this up here for somebody like, to me, Swerve would have been fine with a loss here. Jay White, I feel like, needed this win a lot more than Swerve and Moxley did. Because Swerve is going to be world champion next year at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I just even did my bold predictions for 2024, which I'm going to go over during the World. Actually, I'm going to go over that on Sunday's show for the podcast by 2024 bold ass predictions, and I'm going to go over the 2023 predictions that I got wrong and right. Which amazingly, I still can't believe I got both predictions of CM Punk right. I don't know how the fuck I pulled that off. Anywho, but my point is, I think Jay White could have benefited from this a lot more, especially after the dog shit booking that was the Full Gear main event, and we'll get to them probably doing the same type of booking on Saturday for Samoa Joe and MJF. We'll get to that, but that's what it is. Phenomenal triple threat match. Probably one of my favorite, probably my match of the night. But again, I still would have preferred Jay White to go over in that match as well. So then we had Swerve Strickland backstage. He's pissed about not being the one to go to the finals of the I almost said the G1, the Continental Classic here. But apparently Tony Khan remembered that he was feuding with Keith Lee last year, because now Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. If I'm being honest here, I've stopped watching Collision. Okay, so I didn't know what the fuck's going on. But the matches I've watched, because I know I've mentioned matches from Collision that I've watched, but that's mainly because those are the matches I've watched from Collision. I haven't really watched the actual show itself. I haven't really watched it since CM Punk left. If I'm being completely honest here, but something I didn't. Oh well, I'll get to something I didn't care about in a little bit here. Mariah May came out to talk with Renee Paquette about her her debut is going to be happening next week on the first Dynamite of 2023. I don't know who she's going to wrestle. Who knows? Says it's all about Mariah. Riho that appears to beat the shit out of Mariah May. Didn't happen. So Tony Storm came up and then started helping out Mariah May to beat up Riho. Riho then dives cross bodies onto both of them, taking out Storm, Mariah May, and Luther, and she holds the women's championship. She's not winning the women's championship. This is Riho's annual. I'm gonna show up, have a title match, and then leave again. Unfortunately, which I don't think she might. I don't know. I would like to see Riho stick around more, but you never know here. Action Andretti decides to drink a huge ass bottle of water in one sip. Damn. Now we're gonna have a Rampage 3 trios match here. Top Flight Action Andretti taking on Best Friends. Okay. I don't care. I'm not going to be reviewing Rampage, so what the fuck do I care? So CJ Perry is unfortunately out with an injury, a life-threatening injury, due to a finger cut from a splinter, where she almost lost an arm or something. So, but Miro will be taking on Andrade El Idolo at World's End. Imagine that. Andrade's on a pay-per-view. Damn. I can't even tell you the last time Andrade wrestled a match on a pay-per-view before. But it's happening. Don Callis has a segment here because we needed to spend 25 minutes on Don Callis, Chris Jericho, and the mid-card vortex of Chris Jericho. I don't give a fuck about the storyline. So, Sammy Guevara came out to no fucking reaction, by the way. I don't care what anybody else says. His music hit, you could have heard a pin drop on the ground. You could have heard it, and you could have heard it. Jericho apparently is now friends again with Sammy Guevara. Why the fuck do I care? I don't. Now we're gonna have, and then here's the part that doesn't make a lot of sense here, because then we see Big Bill and Ricky Starks, who apparently are still the tag team champions. Because now, by the way, shout out thoughts and prayers to go out to Kenny Omega. I think I mentioned this. I might have mentioned this on Friday. If I didn't, I'm doing it now. Dealing with diverticulitis, so he'll be out for a long time. But it was supposed to be him and Jericho taking on Big Bill and Ricky Starks for the tag titles. That's not happening now. So now we've got an 8-man tag match with the weirdest. They're gonna do the Don Callis family. I don't remember which members of Don Callis family. I could care two less here, and Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, and then Sting and Darby Allin. What? Why would Sting and Darby Allin give a shit? Sting should be focusing on his retirement match, and Darby Allin should be jumping off of Mount Everest or whatever it is he's going to be doing. Whatever. I didn't care about this at all. But I did care about here the winner of this match. I didn't care who won here because in my mind, right? In my mind, I had Jay White in the finals against whoever won this match here, and the other match would have slapped. But this match was great too. Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson. Eddie Kingston wins here with the power bomb after God knows how many chops to the head or chops to the chest. Danielson at one point was going to go for the bicycle knee. Gets hit with the back fist, and then hits the power bomb. 1, 2, 3 for the win. Eddie Kingston. Again, this is great. This is awesome stuff here. I'm not even going to run through this match here because I can't do this match justice. Because if I did, now I'd be here forever. So, but Eddie Kingston's going to go to the finals here, and it's going to be Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley. Moxley comes out then checks to check on Danielson, tells Kingston that he stuck his knife out for Kingston. All he's ever asked is his best. Kingston says that Kingston says for someone who thinks the world is against them, Moxley says to Kingston, for someone who thinks the world is against him, you have a lot of people here that love you. Moxley says he knows Kingston better than he knows himself. He says that he knows you can't beat me. So in his mind, Kingston has already lost and given up. He says last time they've met, he let the warrior, he let him have a warrior's death. But this time there will be different. He will have to earn this win. He'll have to earn every inch of the win if he wants to be a Triple Crown champion. Kingston gets on the mic and says, reminds Moxley that he broke in the who fucking cares if listen. All right, first of all, no knocking into Kingston's promos and all that stuff, right? Give me a second here. Give me some water. I'm tired of the same promos of, you could talk shit on me or whatever. I got in the wrestling business first. I'm like, who fucking cares? Who cares who got in the business first? I don't. Just because you got in the business first doesn't mean a damn thing. Just because you it's same thing with these fucking Eric Bischoff and Jim Cornette and all those people. Like, just because you've been in the business for God knows how long doesn't mean you're always right. Those kind of promos just irk me a little bit here. Or those lines and promos irk me a little bit here. But I digress. Kingston continues. He's lucky to have let him breathe. Kingston says Saturday the king of the bums will push him. Says that when he wanted to quit AEW, Moxley wouldn't let him. As well, you didn't fucking quit AEW. What are you talking about? You just went to Ring of Honor too. Shut the fuck up. He didn't even around to shape the younger guys, which is funny because when CM Punk was there, they didn't want him to show up. But that made no fucking sense. But anyways, I'm not gonna keep going on about that here. He's going to show him the fighting spirit or whatever. So I'm sure the match will be all right. I mean, fine, I guess. People who will love it. I just don't care. Most of the matches on this show, if I'm looking at it here, are outside of I don't know. Outside of I don't know. There's a few matches I just don't care about until I'll talk about it when we get to that here. We were supposed to have Nick Wayne. We're supposed to have a Christian Cage interview with Shayna and Nick Wayne with him with Edge. He was taking his sweet ass time here, but they start brawling here and whatnot here. So they're gonna have a TNT Championship match, no disqualification on Saturday night. So we'll talk about that when we get there. Skye Blue, Kris Statlander. This was a lot of fun here. Skye Blue keeps improving here. I'm loving her partnership with Julia Hart here. But let's just get to the end of the match here. So we've seen some thrust kicks here from Skye Blue. Delivers a beautiful code red here, a code blue rather. Statlander was able to kick out here. Statlander responds with a power bomb after reversing a few things here. Unloads some big chops here on Blue in the corner. And then in the corner, they start going over here. So Skye Blue gets down. She is distracting Aubrey. I believe it was Aubrey. Either that or just another referee. Julia Hart distracts, gets on the ring apron, and then distracts Statlander, what allows Skye Blue to hit an insane code blue for the top rope to get the win here. Skye Blue gets the win. 1, 2, 3. Fun little match there. After the match, Skye Blue starts attacking Kris Statlander as she holds her up so Julia Hart can hit her with the running elbow attack here. Willow Nightingale then makes the save to go to the ring here. Doesn't really do much here. Then they go up to the ramp here. Abaddon comes out. They're down for their match against Julia Hart at the pay-per-view here. So there's that. But yeah, fine little match here. With the only women's match on the show, you could have gotten rid of the Don Callis segment to fit another women's match in there or something. I did not need to see fucking that fucking Don Callis shit on my television there. Another thing I don't give a shit about here, Ruby Soho and Saraya, they're into doing some shit here. I don't give a fuck about this, so I'm gonna move on because it's not important. Main event time. Oh boy, this is where I'm gonna fucking have at it here. So it's supposed to be MJF and Samoa Joe defending the ROH Tag Team titles on the behalf of Adam Cole against the Devil's Men, whoever the fuck they are. Those devil people come out. They're already in the ring here. MJF music hits. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this when they were running down the card here, and I don't know if anybody else picked up on this, but when they showed the graphic of the world title match, no one in the crowd seemed to care as much as people like to think they do. I don't know. Just like there was no reaction to that. And then when they said the world title, the tag title match was next year, didn't really do much here. And when MJF came out here, crowd didn't pop as loud. They were hot for the two C2 matches and the women's match. But they were not popping for the main event because Samoa Joe comes out, his music hits. He's apparently been taken out. Whatever. MJF says, I'm gonna get this match. Whatever. Tries to do whatever here. One of the dudes hits the heat seeker. 1, 2, 3 with the foot on the ropes. New champions, Masked Man. They start beating up MJF. Samoa Joe decides to come out here. Whatever. Mask gets on the mask. The devil gets on the. I'm seeing how uninterested I am here on this storyline here. They get on this. The devil thing gets on the fucking Titantron. Says, "It's a pleasure doing business with you." Samoa Joe beats up MJF, feigning an injury here. Hits a muscle buster here. And that was the end of the show. So, I didn't give a shit about this main event. this was stupid. This whole devil storyline is jump the shark, and it's getting so close into channel turning territory. And I don't want to see it, and I don't like saying that when it comes to AEW or WWE or wrestling in general. But this is getting oh so close here. If Saturday night is not the end of this fucking storyline, or the reveal of the crescendo of this storyline, I've had enough of the devil stuff. Done with it. So if we do another fucking MJF injury angle here, going into the pay-per-view, and that's MJF just straight up wins again, lol. I'm gonna bury the shit out of this company for that booking decision again. It won't make it as much as the MJF, because that, listen, I still to this day would say MJF Adam Cole, not MJF the MJF Jay White main event from Full Gear is fucking terrible. But overall, Dynamite, you take the C2 matches away and the women's match away, the show was not that memorable at all. Like at all. You got the Swerve promo, that was it. No one gives a shit about Chris Jericho. No one cares about Don Callis' family. No one cares about Sammy Guevara. Unfortunately, Sting has to be involved with Jericho's shit again. You know, no one cares about Saraya. No one cares about Ruby Soho's stuff here. I mean, people like Tony Storm. That's cool and all. I've kind of grown tired of the Adam Copeland Edge stuff anymore. Christian is still great, but other than that, I give the show for the three matches, I'll give it a 5.7 out of 10. That's a generous 5.7 out of 10. I cannot give it a higher grade just because two of the C2 matches were fantastic. The two Gold League block matches were fantastic, and there was a good women's match. I cannot give it a higher grade because I don't do it like that. I'm not going to cheap out like everybody else here. So to me, and I'm always of that opinion. One or two great matches on a show, on a pay-per-view or on a weekly television show does not make the show fantastic. Or let me rephrase that. One or two great matches, when built around horrible booking throughout the show, does not result in a 7 out of 10 wrestling show. I've never had that opinion. Now, if you can book a show like, for example, the All Out 2021, if you could book a show like that, where it's a 9 out of 10 all the way here, right? You know, the only downside of that pay-per-view wasn't Hangman and Omega, but again, Hangman went away to have a child. Well, he didn't, his wife did. But anyways, if you can do that, that's what I'm looking for. Same thing goes for not Clash in the Castle can work here. That's not a great example here for WWE here. WrestleMania Night 1, if you can do that as well, like WrestleMania Night 1, boom. Yeah. So same Stardom's All-Star Grand Queendom. Outside of Nakano winning the championship from Julia, which didn't need to happen. If I'm being completely honest here, I'm still salty about that. Like a lot of people are. That's a 9 out of 10. WrestleMania Night 1, a 9 out of 10. All Out 2021, a 9 out of 10. Right. This year's All Out was a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, actually rather. I give good grades to shows that deserve good grades. Okay. Three good matches, and everything else around it doesn't really need to. That's not how it works for me. But that was Dynamite. That's all I have to say about here. Let's go into. We'll go straight. Well, right now we're going to go into the 2021. No, that's 2021. We're going to go into World's End predictions first, because that's the show that's at the end of on Saturday here. We have two pre-show matches, or 0 hour, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They announced a 20-man battle. Tony Khan loves his fucking battle royals, tell you. Future TNT Championship match here. No participants announced on that show here so far. Might not know until Rampage or the pay-per-view itself. So if we find out on Rampage, I'll put the. I don't know how. I'm not going to predict it if they announce who the participants are. I don't care. Hook will defend the FTW Championship match and the FTW Rules match, which I don't know what the fuck the FTW rules are. Oh, it's basically it's no DQ match. Hook is defeating Wheeler Yuta. There's no reason Wheeler Yuta should be winning the title. It's whatever. He's defending against Wheeler Yuta, so there's that here. So I'm gonna go through matches I don't care about first, which doesn't really matter here. Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and Kyle Fletcher and Powerhouse Hobbs will take on Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Sting, and Darby Allin. Sting ain't losing any fucking match until his retirement match. So Team Sting is gonna win there. Julia Hart versus Abaddon for the AEW TBS Championship. Julia Hart's going to retain here because she is on a roll here as the really, if I'm being completely honest here, Tony Khan seems like to be booking only two people out of the House of Black, that being her and Brody King, and basically saying, fuck the other guys. Which is why you'll be surprised on at least one of my bold predictions for 2024 rather, is regarding, I remember I have the House of Black, and I'll talk about that on Sunday's show. But like I said, Julia Hart's going to be beating Abaddon. There's no reason for Abaddon to pick up the title here. So there's that. Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee. This is not really a grudge match because they haven't had a match yet one-on-one because Tony Khan forgot this feud existed. I'm just being honest here. So, but I'm going to go with Swerve Strickland because there's no reason Keith Lee should be winning this match right now because Keith Lee has not done jack shit since the Swerve Strickland tag title run here. So why should you give Keith Lee a win here? Swerve Strickland is the hot commodity right now. Go with Swerve. Miro versus Andrade El Idolo. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go, despite one of my big predictions for 2024, I'm going to go with Andrade to beat Miro here. Mainly because it might not have a surprise on the show there. Timeless Tony Storm, will defeat Riho to retain the AEW Women's Championship. Rio's not winning. Rio is not beating the champion. That's not happening. Why would that happen? No, that doesn't make no sense. After the match, I don't know what's gonna happen there. Thunder Rosa might be involved with the TBS Championship, and I'll talk about. I've already mentioned her anyways. So Thunder Rosa's back. She did return here on Collision, so they might be setting up Thunder Rosa for Julia Hart, which is fine. Sure, why not? So I don't know what they're gonna do with Toni Storm. I don't know when Jamie Hayter comes back. I feel like they're gonna set up Jamie Hayter maybe to be the one to beat Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm should get a longer reign with the championship. She's like super over right now, so there is that. Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, the Continental Classic Finals for the Triple Crown Championship. Eddie Kingston better fucking win this, because if they book Jon Moxley to win again, I may lose a gasket. Because again, I'm just kind of over the Jon Moxley lull wins stuff, and I like Moxley, and I mentioned this earlier, but if you're not going to give this, if you weren't going to give this to Swerve, and you weren't going to give this to Jay White, you weren't going to give this like Brody King or somebody like that, or even Roosh, give it to Eddie Kingston. You kind of set this up, like you kind of wrote yourself in the corner when you decided to have Eddie Kingston say, "I'm going to defend all of these championships in this tournament." Kind of basically said, "Well, now Eddie Kingston needs to win the tournament." I'm like, whatever. Anyways, Eddie Kingston is going to win this. What's called G1, the Continental Classic. It's whatever there. Christian will defeat Edge to retain the TNT Championship because why wouldn't he? Because like Edge doesn't need another championship run. If I'm being completely honest here. 2024, they're probably going to have Edge and Christian reunite to do something in 2024 as a tag team, but Christian's going to retain here. There's no reason for that to happen as well. Main event here, MJF, Samoa Joe for the World Championship here. I'm praying to every god that exists and every diaphragm that's out there on the internet. Take the title off of MJF. They blew it with MJF as a world champion. I hate to say it. They spent the majority of the time with MJF as the world champion worrying about the Ring of Honor tag team titles, who lost them to people in masks, and Adam Cole wasn't even the champion. Adam Cole is probably going to be the devil. Kyle O'Reilly is probably back now. I don't understand. See, first of all, like, if we're going by logic sense here, still don't understand why Kyle O'Reilly would trust Samoa Joe after everything Samoa Joe put the Undisputed Era through at one point, or his buddy Adam Cole through at one point. I don't know why Adam Cole would trust Samoa Joe after what he did to him in NXT. I don't know why the Kingdom would trust Adam Cole after what he said to them. But anyways, Samoa Joe does not walk out of World's End as AEW World Champion. I have no desire to see Adam Cole win the championship after this weekend. I don't care who the fuck wins it now, because I'm over MJF as the world champion. He's not done it for. He's not. I think they kind of rushed it. I think they didn't rush it, but like I don't know. There's something about me. I don't know. It's like you kind of jump. Like I said, jump the shark is what I was looking for. There's another word I'm looking for, but I can't think about it right now. But like you overshot it. Way too many times. Time to go into something else here. We've been having it's time to put the other people in the title picture here. Let's give Samoa Joe the championship, right? Move him on to something else. let MJF and Adam Cole have their shit here. Give me Samoa Joe versus, whoever, Swerve, Hangman Page, whoever in for the championship, whatever, But that's just me. Those are my predictions for that show, World's End here. Let's go on to a show that I'm actually looking forward to, whether I've been blocked by Stardom on Twitter or not, because Sonny is a fucking asshole. So this is a pay-per-view event here. This is their quote-unquote WrestleMania. It's Dream Queendom 3 on December the 29th, Friday morning, 2023, from Kurgan Hall. Kurgan Hall, Sumo Hall, whatever you want to call it, Tokyo, Japan. Here there's actually 8 matches. The other match here is not listed here, unfortunately, because I don't have it here. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see. Let me pull up. My good friend Scott here. Here we go. So I'll pull. So now I have it here because Scotty Wrestling actually is my new dude who's coming behind here for Dream Queendom matches. So I'm going to go through here. So we have 8 matches here. I'm going to predict the match that was recently just announced, which I didn't know that because they fucking blocked me on Twitter. So it's a 6-woman tag match featuring Miyu Yamazaki, Azui Anaba. Again, I mispronounced this name multiple times there. Yuzuki versus Hanako, Rina. Not Rina. Rana Yamagumi and Sayaka Kyoryu. I believe that's the way I mispronounced. Whatever. I'm gonna go with Team Kevin on this one here. I would love to see more Yuzuki. Yuzuki may join Queen's Quest by sometime in 2024 here. But also I do love the fact, because I remember this video clip of Mobile Watanabe basically saying, these two are your students, right? You still suck. It was pretty funny. But because I don't have any real input on this match here, because I didn't know it was happening, because I was not informed about it until I saw the tweet from Scotty Wrestling, because had they not blocked me for whatever fucking reason on Twitter, I would have seen this, but I didn't there. So there's that. Now let's go on to the matches that I know about, because I was watching the press conference when they announced these matches here. So we have a 4-way tag team match, which I don't think has any implication. Most of these, outside of the 4 main title matches, none of these other matches have any implications at all. We have Queen's Quest Hina, which, by the way, happy birthday to Hina, and her sister Rina, who is also on this show as well. She will be teaming with Lady C to take on Mai Sakurai and Thekla from Dana Del Mondo. They will be taking on Yuna Minozori and Saki from Cosmic Angels / Colors. And God Size Ami Sarai and the returning Saki Kashima. This was interesting here. I feel like this is going to be a day for DDM, because you got this match here, then you got the Strong Women's Championship match with Julie defending against Megan Bain, and then you have Micah in the main event here, which I kind of spoiled by my outcome there. I think this is going to be, I think this is going to be a clean sweep for Dana Del Mondo, so I'm going to go with Thekla and Mai Sakurai here for this 4-way tag. Again, this 4-way tag really has no boundaries on it. I mean, the 4-way tag might, depending on who comes out of the goddess tag match, But as of right now, this match has no meaning at all. But it might as the show progresses. We will wait and see here. A match that probably doesn't have any meaning at all here. It's unfortunate because it's here just to get. I feel like here is just to get Shuri and Anathami on the show here. It's an 8-woman tag, or no, it's a 6-woman tag match here. 7-Up, the soda machine of 7-Up, Nanae Takahashi, and you, fuck Nanae Takahashi, will be teaming with one of my favorite wrestlers in the world right now, Azumi, taking on one of my other favorite wrestlers in the world, Shuri, who will be teaming with Mina Shirakawa, which I have a big prediction for 2024, and you got to listen to that on the podcast on Sunday. And they will be teaming with my Mai Sarai, which is, I believe, she is the current high-speed champion, which is weird that she's not defending the title here. I'm gonna go because they never lose, because Nanae Takahashi doesn't lose at all on these fucking shows. But I'm only picking them because Azumi's on the show on the group on the match here. So Azumi and her team is gonna win here. That's my prediction here, because we know Rossi doesn't give a fuck about Mina Shirakawa. Shuri, though, I feel like Shuri could win here. Shuri's team could win here because she is getting a title match against not Utami, against shit. I blanked for a second. Mayu Iwatani. Her name was right there in front of me, and I don't know why it blanked on me. Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Championship at the Stardom Gate show on January 4th, which is next week. So they could give it to Shuri, but I'm just because it just safe bet, I'm gonna go with Azumi's team here. 8-woman tag match. I know has no implications here. We have stars Mayu Iwatani, Hanan, Hazuki, and Saya Ida will be taking on Uedo Tai's Starlight Kid, Ruka, Rina, Happy Birthday Rina, and Fukachi Death. It's now in America now. It is the 28th, but it was already the 28th in I almost said December in Japan, as both Rina and Hina are twin sisters. They were born on this day. So again, like I said, happy birthday to those two. I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep for Uedo Tai, unfortunately here. But Mayu Iwatani, I believe this is Mayu's return match here. She either fractured or broke one of her fingers here. I don't know what match she did that in, but she did that. Hazuki, I think, should have a better 2024. I think she will. But I'm going to go with stars here. Though I could see Starlight Kid. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take that back here. I think Starlight Kid. Yeah, I think Starlight Kid's going to pin Mayu Iwatani here. Because I think at a future date, because I don't really see Shuri winning the championship next weekend or next Thursday. So I'm gonna, because I think Starlight Kid would be a perfect challenger for Mayu Iwatani. I mean, they could have Mayu Iwatani defend the championship on a Wednesday at the New Year's Star show. So you never know. That's just because I also think I feel like they're sort of teasing a Starlight Kid babyface turn again. So you never know what's going to happen there. So we'll see what happens in that term of things here. But I may change my prediction at some point here. I'll let you know somehow. But right now it is stars. I'm gonna stay with stars. But if I did change my prediction, I'll let you know in the review on Friday. All right, so here is the matches that matter now. We have Julia defending the Strong Women's Championship against Megan Bayne. This is Megan, to me, Julia's retaining the championship here. This, I believe, is Megan Bayne's sign-off match for going back to New Japan, going back to AEW, and I think Julia's going to retain here. And I think this is where Mercedes Moné may pop up, because I think before one of them goes to WWE, New Japan is going to want to have this match. Not Wrestle Kingdom, because they've already stated that Stardom wrestlers will not be on the Wrestle Kingdom show. Though then again, New Japan has say over the strong the strong championships. So, but again, Julia is promoted for the Battle in the Valley show, so I can see them doing Julia versus Mercedes at Battle in the Valley, and then Julia drop it to Mercedes there, and then Julia ends up probably going to WWE by the end of March, maybe. I don't know. I really don't think Julia's staying, regardless of what she's saying to the press and whatnot. I still think she's leaving for WWE. She's pretty much done everything there is to do in Stardom. She's basically won all the titles in Stardom. She doesn't really. I'm sure she got an underwhelming run for the one world title, but that's not her fault. That's all Rossy Ogawa for have this fucking horniness for Tam Nakano's push. Just saying, right? Imagine this, right? Imagine this. Imagine if Tam Nakano never won the championship, right? Okay. You go through the 5-star Grand Prix, okay? And the main event of this show, right? The 5-star Grand Prix would have made a lot more. The finals would have made a lot more sense if it was Micah and Suzu with Julia as the champion. The main event of this show would have been Suzu or Micah versus Julia for the championship, and then you set up whoever, and then the winner of the runner-up of that 5-star should get the title match at All-Star. That's the way I would have done it, but I'm not Rossy Ogawa. But I'm just saying. But I'm staying by my guts here. Julia retains here to build to a at this point, I think, possible Mercedes Moné match here. Aphrodite, Utami Hayashida, Saya Kamitani will defend the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles against Natsuko Toro, Momo Watanabe XL of Oedo Tai. Now, I mentioned something to a friend of mine. I believe it was Andreas. Shout out to him. That I watched the show that they did, most of the New Blood show, but mainly the what was that? Mainly cause I watched the match that she did with who did she wrestle on that show? She wrestled one of the new girls. She wrestled Sayaka. And throughout that match, I've noticed, like, post-match she was a babyface, and pre-match she was a babyface. But during the match, I noticed that Saya was playing a little bit of a heelish character. She was doing things like, pulling on the hair, throwing her around like a rag doll, things that you would see heels do. So I sat here and thought to myself here, I'm like, well, I know she said that she wants to do a tag team title run with, or was it more of she just went to win the tag titles with Utami. Well, she won the tag titles with Utami. But then I started thinking about it after watching that match, and I'm like, well, could she be fucking with her? I mean, playing with Utami. Could she be? Because let's be honest here, right? So let's be honest with ourselves here. So let's look back in when the 5-star first started, right? The 5-star Grand Prix started. When did it start? Right, July. Okay, and that wasn't even a few weeks after Sunshine. We didn't really see much of Queen's Quest together because if you guys remember, and I'm throwing this out here because this is gonna matter in a couple months after Sunshine, right? We thought that Queen's Quest got back on the same page. Saya, made her choice by clonking the back of Momo with the bat that Momo tried to offer her to use on Utami. We thought we were all good here, right? Okay. Then the very next show, literally the next time they had a show, Utami is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a break, you guys. I'm gonna go to America and have some matches. I need some time away." And this is the look, and you had this look of confusion on both us and me. Most of Queen's Quest, mainly Saya Kamatani. What if Saya Kamatani felt a little betrayed by that action after doing all what she did up until Sunshine to then make the right decision, only for Utami to go around and say, "Yeah, I'm going to leave for a little bit"? What if she took that as an act of disrespect? And what if this is all a ploy? That's the word I was looking for, not play. Ploy by Saya Kamatani to get in the good graces again of Utami. And then they do one of the most ultimate, the most dastardly things they could do during a show, because they've done it before. They did it. Did they do that betrayal during the middle of the show, or did they do that in the main event? They may have did that in the main event, but would they risk the idea to do a heel turn with Saya? I think Saya Kamatani is in need of a heel turn. I think this is a heel turn waiting to happen here. I think what's about to happen. This is just me predicting it, and if it happens, you heard it here first. Saya Kamatani most likely may cost Aphrodite the tag team titles. That's not. I think Oedo Tai may walk away with the Clash of Stardom tag team titles here. I was looking through because I was looking, I was looking through stuff here, and I'm like, it wouldn't put it past me. I wouldn't put it past Rossi. And it's the story is there. Like, people think I'm crazy. The story is there. It makes a lot of sense to do this. Like, why would Saya Kamatani all of a sudden be okay with doing this? Like, sure she helped her team win the steel cage match at Sunshine, but why would she, then be like, "Oh well, I'm okay when we're doing the tag titles back with with Utami. After Utami, then the following week after the cage match said, "Nah, I'm leaving. See you later, motherfuckers." Basically, what happened. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, just as a idea. No one in the Stardom universe, no one in the Stardom fan base who is predicting this show, who's reviewing this show, it's even thinking about that. And I'm gonna probably pose this question, but actually pose this idea to some of my friends here because I don't think they know what I'm talking about. Because, I said I did mention this sort of to one of my friends. He was like, "Well, that don't make no sense." I'm going to explain it a little bit further. And just after I recorded this, and did all that stuff. So my prediction is this bold ass prediction. This whole prediction might blow up in my face on Friday afternoon after the show, or Friday morning after I've done watched the show. So it's probably gonna blow up in my face. But, I think Natsuko Toro and Momo Watanabe. And by the way, two people I think should be rewarded with something because they had two of their best blocks in the 5-star Grand Prix, and them not getting rewarded anything for that is kind of bullshit. Because Natsuko Toro basically, if the belief is that Saya Kamatani was going to win the red block and Utami was going to win the red block, if that is the belief, for the red block, Natsuko Toro picked up that mantle and just ran with it up until Hazuki decided to say, "Nah, I'm a spoiler." And Momo was having her own fantastic run with that whole thing too. So, but I'm going to go with a whale tie here as that bold ass prediction here of because of Saya Kamatani costing Utami the match due to her still being salty for Utami leaving the group after everything that had happened at Sunshine. Bam. All right. The two big matches here. We got the Wonder of Stardom Championship match. Mirai defending the title against the goddess herself, in my opinion, Sariano of Cosmic Angels. Probably, I joke a lot with this, but I feel like at this point, I feel like she's the actual leader of the group because, not to playing around to do much of anything, and Tam Nakano doesn't even act like a leader that much anymore. When she is around, and I love Tam, but she doesn't really feel like she's acting like a leader right now. Well, Sariano is out here doing things she doesn't even feel like she wants to be around the group. She's just hey guys. She's having more fun in Dangerous Liaisons than she is in Cosmic Angels. I'm just saying. That being set aside here, I like Mirai. Okay, I feel like Sony over there and whoever runs the startup account feels like I hate Mirai. They may think I hate Mariah as much as I at Charlotte Flair level hate. I don't. I like Mariah. I like her matches. It's her booking I don't like. It's the same thing with that. It's the booking of her I can't stand. There's multiple times she should have lost to Konami. And if she did, we could have had Konami back full time. But now Konami's having fun doing Sukebon instead, or Skebon, whichever way it's pronounced here. Then Okay, then, and I'm just throwing this out here. Then, right? So, but her and Soriano, Mirai, and Soriano had a instant classic 30-minute time limit draw at a Gold Rush, I believe it was. And I'm like, no, they were too cowardly to pull the trigger again. And people were in seeing Soriano win the championship. And this is not and Rossi has had this year, the white belt has been the most cursed championship, in my opinion, for not putting in other people who should have won it. When Saya Kamatani was the champion, right? In February, I believe it was February or March, whenever they had the Triangle Derby show, Hazuki should have won the championship because she was massively over in that match, and people only wanted to see Hazuki win the championship, and they were deflated when the 3 count happened, and Hazuki did not win the championship. Then we fast forward to Mina Shirakawa. Okay, fine. You wanted to do that redemption story. Fine, cool, whatever. Mina Shirakawa wins the championship. And then they have the stupid idea of the stupid booking decision of having her saying, hey, you know what? I want to do a double title match with Tam Nakano. Winner take all. I'm like, bro, you are not WWE. You are not need to be doing no Roman Reigns, Seth Lesnar, WrestleMania 38 fucking bullshit. And then they did it. And then guess what happened? They immediately had Mina Shirakawa lose the championship to Tam Nakano because they just couldn't help themselves. And again, this is not me knocking on Tam Nakano here, but they just couldn't help themselves. Then they couldn't help themselves again because the Mirai thing, again, this is where the booking and Mirai gets on my nerves here, because 2 straight years they had Mirai win the Cinderella tournament. I didn't mind her winning it last year. That's fine. That's fine and dandy. That's cool. She does not need to win it this year. That could have went somebody like a Momo Watanabe or a Hazuki or who else was in the Cinderella tournament this year? Let me go look here. I'm very curious now because let me look here because I don't actually have a fucking clue, but I'm gonna look here. Okay. So who else was in this tournament that could have used it? Azumi could have used it, even though she was the high-speed champion. Hazuki, like I said, she could have used it. Julia was the world champion, so I didn't see that happening. Micah, we'll talk about her, but she doesn't need it now for reasons I'll get to in a second here. Maya Iwatani wasn't even the champion of IWGP. She could have done something with this, right? Like I said, Momo Watanabe. They could have done that with her. They could have gave it to Natsupoi if they wanted to. They could have gave it to Shuri. They could have gave it to Tam Nakano, who didn't really need to win the world championship either. They could have given it to Utami. But they chose to give it again to Mirai for whatever reason. Don't know what the reason was. And then they put the title on Mirai, and here we are. And to me, this should be the end of Mirai's reign as champion. She's had great matches. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love her as a wrestler. I love the wrestling matches that she's put on. This the booking I just cannot handle with her. And I don't give a shit that Soriano is not signed to the company. That should not matter. That really shouldn't matter, in my opinion. WWE had a fucking 24/7 weird dash title that was won by news outlets, by news anchors and Santa Claus and fucking DDT has an Iron Man championship that was won by a ladder. Okay, I don't think Japan really does not give a shit who wins their championships. Okay, just saying, right? I'm just saying. I believe somebody in Japan who isn't signed to their company just won one of their titles. I don't remember who is. Let me look at Noah's. Who is the current Noah champion here? Look here. I don't even know who the. Let me see. I don't know who the current champions are right now. It's not okay. It's not Kento. Okay, so he is currently signed. Who somebody just won a championship. Somebody just left Noah for another promotion. I'm trying to remember who it was here. Give me a second here. Who just left? No, it's not him. Somebody. Who the fuck just left Noah? Signed somewhere else. Not signed somewhere else, but went somewhere. Who's a free? Who the fuck is a free agent that just left Noah? Somebody left Noah as a free agent. I'm trying to remember who the fuck it was now. Who the fuck is it? I'm trying to see who it was. This is All Japan. Who is the current champions in there? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so Nakajima is a freelancer in fucking All Japan, and he isn't even signed the champion. He isn't even signed the promotion. I was trying to remember his name. I knew it was Naka something. It was Nakajima. It's the world champion over there. So don't give me that bullshit of the freelancers shouldn't win their top two championships. Nakajima is the fucking champion over there in All Japan, and he isn't even signed to the promotion. I'm just saying. So for that reason, Sariano should be walking away with the Wonder of Stardom Championship on Friday night. If she doesn't, I'm going to come out here and complain about Mirai's booking again. At this point, I don't give a shit if I don't get unblocked by the Stardom account or not, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the John Cena booking with her. And what I mean by John Cena, let's say, okay, not even John Cena booking, Roman Reigns booking, whatever you want to call it here. Hulk Hogan booking, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, Sariano, it's my pick to win the championship because I just need something new. I just need something new. Like I need a new World of Stardom championship, and this, to me, should be the hardest one to pick. But I think the way they've been kind of promoting this match here, the way they've been talking Miss Micah here, like they haven't even interviewed the other person, the other half of this match here. Like Susan Suzuki, every interview she's had hasn't really talked about Micah. All she says, like, I'm gonna win the championship, and then wrestle other people. Other than that, has she really cared about Micah? Meanwhile, you have Micah having these interviews with like Tokyo Sports and some radio interviews for running this match here. Micah's done more promotional material for this match than Suzu has. And Suzu won the 5-star, by the way. So my prediction is very simple here. there's really no reason to, there's no reason for me to doubt this at all at this point anymore. Suzuki is not walking out of Kurgan Hall with the World at Stardom Championship, because I believe it, like I said earlier, it's going to be a clean sweep for DDM. Micah will be your new, and it should be, World of Stardom Champion. They don't do that. Something's just going to go crazy. I don't know. I don't know if they can actually go through, I don't know if people can take another Micah loss there. I don't know how are you going to go through this whole, Micah losing to Suzu in the finals here, then her going through all this bullshit to do the 4-woman tournament here to beat, Ami Sarai had no fucking chance. I love Ami, but she's not gonna. Amy Sarai or Ami Sarai, what do you want to call her? Either Ami or Amy. Anyways, love her, but she was never gonna beat Micah. Momo or Mina was never gonna beat Micah, and Momo beat Mina because it helps better for people to cheer for Micah over Momo. And I hate to be that. It's like, people need to realize, people who need to open their ears. Micah is the most over woman in the company right now. I know people are going to say, oh, it's Mina, it's Tam. Dude, open your ears. Every time she's out there, it's Micah. When she won the right to face Suzu at Dream Queendom, that match where was that at? Not Kurgan Hall. That was what was the small building? What the fuck was that called? I don't remember. I can't remember the name of the arena now. Oh my god, it's escaping me. Anyway, when that bell rang, the people throughout the majority of the match was chanting Micah for Micah. During the 5-star Grand Prix, people were chanting for Micah. During her match with, who was it? Who did Micah have that? Who did she beat to get in the? Was that Mirai that she beat in the to get to the finals? Let me see. I believe it was Mirai, right? Yeah, it was Mirai. People were cheering for Micah, and then Micah got to the finals, and people were like, "Let's go, Micah!" People wanted Micah to win the finals because people want to see Micah as the champion. Not a lot of people are into seeing Suzu as the champion right at the moment. It's Micah's time. Suzu is young. Suzu is only 21 years old. She's got plenty of time, plenty of years ahead of her. You can give her the championship next year. It is Micah's time. Because if Micah loses here, it's now or never for her to pull the trigger on Micah. I've been pulling for Micah all year. When they announced that Micah was retiring and Micah was going to be her final opponent, and then they did the whole thing with Micah winning that match here, the way they did that emotional turn of events there. And then the very next whatever pay-per-view it was afterwards, what was it? What show was it that they did that? I'm trying to remember what show was it. It might have been Triangle Derby. Was it Flashing Champion? It probably was Flashing Champions. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out what show it was. Give me a second here. Or no, you know what? Actually, it was Goddess Legend. She was on that show. She was on the show. She wrestled in a tag match against. She beat Saya Kamatani and Utami Hayashita. And she was like, "It's my time, motherfucker." It was my time, bitch. And I was like, yes, it is. And I was like, you run with her and you give her the 5-star. They almost did. But it's time for her to pull. It's time for them to pull the trigger on the World Stardom Championship. But I went on too long, way too long than I thought I needed to here. I'm gonna go with, like I said, Micah winning the championship or finish the story before Cody Rhodes. A lot of people are gonna finish their story before Cody Rhodes. CM Punk is gonna finish his story before Cody Rhodes. So, you know. I'm just saying. But yeah, those are my previews and predictions for World's End and Dream Queendom. I'll see you guys back here. Oh, and that was my also review for Dynamite here. I'll see you guys back here for Friday night for the Dream Queendom review, and then on Saturday night for the AEW World's End review as well, and then Sunday for the Pile Driver Pulse. Also, remember the polls are still up for the year-end awards here. Those will be closing either January 4th or depending on how long I want to keep that open for, maybe till January 5th or 6th. I'll let you guys know here, but that will be in the description down below, or you can just go to the Pile Driver Pulse. It's like the pinned tweet there of the year-end awards here. Right now, it's a crazy, takeaway. Like for a while, a match that happened last year was almost one that was at the top of the rankings here. Not now anymore, but last time I checked, it wasn't here. But keep voting, and let me know what you guys think is your year-end award stuff here, if you want to, or what you thought about my predictions, my crazy ass prediction for the Goddess of Stardom tag title match here, and all that stuff here. I will see you guys back here Friday night for the Stardom Dream Queendom 3 review. I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Until then, we're out.